So, how much sexual contact each day, week, month, if any, is ideal to you? What kind of sexual contact is ideal to you? How much sexual contact each day, week, month, if any, is minimally acceptable to you? Or, like, to break it down even more, how do you feel or respond if you don't receive your ideal, your minimum amount? Is this something that you think, like, should be discussed about to have a successful long-term relationship?
I think eventually it's a good thing to talk about. Maybe not like when the relationship's new and fresh, but eventually down the road, be something that maybe talk about if like they're both on the same page.
Okay, but it should be something to be discussed just later down the road, though.
Correct, yeah.
Okay. And what about the question about, like, do you want to have any children? How many? How soon? And, like, if you can't have it naturally, like, would you prefer having, like, other methods such as adoption? Should this be discussed?
That's kind of like the same thing. That's a later down the road thing once things are more serious and, yeah, more serious pretty much.
Yeah, so just basically when things are more serious and you're more committed and all that kind of stuff and you kind of want to get things on the same.
And it's more of a for sure long-term thing.
Right, okay. What about the question about how well do you manage money? Like, to break it down, it would be like, do you have any debt? Like, how much if you do? And then, like, do you have any problems discussing finances? Do you like to be in control of finances or let someone else manage them? Or, like, how do you feel about retirement savings, emergency savings? And what are you both willing to, like, sacrifice to save for each?
I feel like the debt and just maybe some basic financial stuff would be a good thing to talk about relatively soon.
Mm-hmm.
But then the rest of it would be a good idea to kind of stay back for later to talk about.
Right, so basically, like, as the relationship, like, matures, then you want to have these discussions. Correct. Since they're more important, and, yeah, okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Perfect. And do you think the idea of, like, their thoughts on monogamy versus polyamory, like, outside relationship, coupling, or sexual contact, like, acceptable? Like, are these questions should be talked?
I'd say it's a good thing to kind of get a boundary on when things are starting off, just to make sure you're on the same page as them.
Okay, just to clear up the air a little bit, make sure that y'all are on the same page, like, so you can have it smooth without any arguments, basically.
Exactly.
Fair.
Exactly.
And, like, should the question about, like, should it be brought up about, like, couple counseling, and, like, would they even feel comfortable attending, like, a relationship checkup?
I think that's not really necessary unless it's really needed between the two of y'all, and you'll come to a consensus saying that you need to get things checked up on. But I don't think it's anything necessary.
Okay, so it's just something that, like, it should be discussed, but, like, at very serious situations in a way.
Yeah, only if it's really needed.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think on, like, should it be talked about prenuptial agreement?
And that is what again?
It's basically a contract between two people when they're married, for example, and they end up getting a divorce. Then how will the, I guess, money and, I guess, furniture, houses, and all these kind of things split up between each other?
Okay, yeah. So it'd be a good thing to kind of discuss it, get some boundaries,
right?
Get some ideas, have things kind of written down. Yeah.
Okay, so basically, in short, you're just trying to say that all of these questions that that was listed is like it should be talked about, but certain questions on here should be talked about early on in the stage versus later on in the years as you go through.
Yeah, in the more serious, yeah.
In the more serious. Okay, perfect.
Right. Yeah, for sure.